All right, we're going to talk about 1023. I'd like you to get out that tablet and pen. I'd like you to write down nonprofit, IRS.gov, 501c3. Okay, we're going to do it again because I want you to focus on something. I used to say this years and years ago, so don't be offended by it. If you're really not an entrepreneur and you're kind of lazy, nonprofit's the way to go, because what do? You just get a bunch of money. And then you can facilitate telling people what to do and hire employees. Again, that's what I used to say. See, I did a program called Eagle's Nest back in 1986. It went worldwide, nonprofit. I was nominated as the #1 nonprofit expert in the world at that time too. See, my problem with me is God gave me too much information. I got it all, okay? In other words, profit, nonprofit, division, process, 1,000 things. I can answer questions because he gave me the brain to actually process the information and help people. He gets the credit for it. I'm just a facilitator trying to help you. So I want you to write down, again, irs.gov. It's a 1023 form, okay? That's the form for the nonprofit. Let's understand, you're going to open a nonprofit corporation. The nonprofit should be in your state, and I can help you get the federal exemption. So in other words, nonprofit is state, and so let's write down state, no problem. We obtain it. Then we float over to the IRS website, irs.gov. We get the 1023 form, and it gets to be a 501c3, and this is for public benefit. Now, when I did basically, the Giving Days Foundation, it was part of Helping Hand. Then I did from there is also Teach Our Children. Nancy Reagan turned Teach Our Children into the DARE program, if you don't know this. I ended up doing 2 corporations for Ronald Reagan a long, long time ago as we play this game to win. So nonprofit should be done all the time because why? Let's put it this way. You can pay tax or buy a Lamborghini, pay tax, buy a spaceship, or have debt offset taxes, or have a nonprofit. Nonprofit works in conjunction, so the goal is simple. I'd like you to take a picture of that today, because what happens, if you'd like, let us know, we'll give you one of these, our mouse pads, because what it is showing that goal. See, I'd tell you to basically print it in color, and laminate it, and I'd tell you to put it on your desk, or basically at work, or at home, or your refrigerator. I'd make that your screensaver. I believe you kind of screwed up. I believe you're 35 to 75 years old and you've been playing the wrong game. You've been playing it wrong anyway. Between the credit and everything else what you're trying to do, you've got to realize we're measured by a couple things. Going back to the board today, we're going to write down you. So let's write down you and circle it. You see, you have a choice, but again, are you listening, learning what you need to do? But it's going to be up to you also to process that information. So let's think about something. You were 14 to 16 years old. You were told to get an SSN. By the way, the SSN is an SS5 form. SS5. Okay, so let's understand something. Equals a 1040 tax return. You see, I don't think the system wants you to know how to play the game and win. But again, that's what I want to help you do as well. So what happened is you have your SSN, and that's an SS5 form equals your 1040 tax return. The ability you had a long time ago is to realize you could have 3 divisions of you. Literally, I do this for my famous clients that have basically an AK or DBA, and they have an acting name or something else or stage name. So what do we get to do? Let's do one thing. You keep bringing the pain home to you because you don't know what you're really doing anyway, in my opinion. This is a line of defense. A line of defense, let's write it down. You see, the ultimate goal for me in my life was to help people. I dedicated my whole life to do that. For 49 years, I've been helping people up to 6 days a week, online or in person, because I wanted to help people learn how to play the game to win. So if we look at this screensaver here, we look at what you get to do for you, a line of defense. Well, we have to understand a couple things. Every division is entitled to an SS4 form. I want you to realize one thing. The SS4, created by the IRS, was a universal form. Universal. Again, that form actually says the legal name of an entity or individual person. So it's for a person or employer, what you're trying to do for business. But you have to understand how to play the game and connect the dots. It's we the people, constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights, so things we're allowed to do. But unfortunately, because you don't know rules and tools, you keep bringing the pain home. All cards fluctuate but two. You jacked up the wrong card. Why did you do it? You didn't know any better. Let's give you that. Okay, you had an emergency. You lost your job. Something happened as well. If we put a sticky behind every card and understand a $10,000 card is only good $2,900, $2,900, that's it. But you got the card, you said, let's go shopping, honey. Let's go to dinner. Carelessness. The older you get, the slower you get. You're not as pretty as you used to be. That's when you're a little more cautious. But understand, I developed something that I trained Ken Yarbrough a long time ago in the 70s and 80s. Oldest card and the 29% rule. If we keep a card and that's sticky below 29% all times, what happens? Your score never drops. Because of your lack of knowledge, you actually play the up and down show. So you got to realize these cards do not fluctuate. The other ones do. These are unlimited up to $1 million. POT time is 100,000 plus. So if we use the right card during an emergency, we don't drop our score, get stuck, and we can get some more. Your problem is your lack of knowledge is our stupidity. We're not stupid people. You're not stupid, I'm not stupid, but we do follow stupid, in my opinion. But you have to understand something. If I was to look at bankruptcy code today, BK, under the Federal Protection Act, it allows to file a bankruptcy, all right, from an SS4 or an SSN. You have to decide what you want to do for you in your life because you're getting older, slower, and you're not as pretty as you used to be. But the goal is what we're going to try to do for us. You know, it's going to be up to you. So let's do this right now. Let's draw a square, okay, and use a pen that actually writes better than that one, okay? And let's do this, okay? Let's take that square and say it's a corporation for a moment, and let's put an M in the box, M, okay? It's a management company. Now, you're going to say you have an LLC, great, you have an LLP, you have an S Corp, you have a C Corp, you have a nonprofit, or you have a PC called Professional Corp. Professional Corp, right there. See, that's a line of defense. So what matters to me is that you have a corporation. I believe the world's trying to confuse most people anyway. They want to be rich. The reality is we don't want to be rich. See, let's understand something. You're measured by what? Social Security number, tax ID, and a credit score. We have to realize we're measured by numbers. Numbers don't lie, just people lie. Again, what do? Next, we have to think about the function you're trying to do today. You're watching me because you want to gain some knowledge and you want to get to the next step. And I have over 50 million people I've helped so far in analyzations and all kinds of goodies. Up to 2.2 billion in real estate at a time and 21 cars in the card collection. You see, for me, starting a business was important. It was a necessity. I wanted to get out of hell. That was just me. So again, I want you to write down, see it, believe it, go get it. Whatever you see you want, you make that list, I'll guarantee I can help you go get it. There's nothing I can't go get on this planet. It's simple. For me, it's simple. In the beginning, I'd say no pictures or recording because what happens to most of you, you're taking pictures of something that doesn't matter anyway. 99% of what's in your cell phone, you never look at it again after you take the picture or the video. Now, when we see it, believe it, go get it, for me, you got to get to know me, okay? Why do you have to get to know me? Because I want to hold your hand and tell you what to do. How do you let someone tell you what to do? Well, you've been screwing up since day one. What can I say? It's just the truth. You've been guessing. No more guessing from now on. It's very simple. I got to train Ken Yarbrough. This was TRW, Thomas Raymond Woolrich, Bicycle Parts, El Segundo, California. Information business, became a Spirit in 96. He was CID bodyguard for President Nixon and became security chief at TRW, which actually stood for the reports wrong anyway. Me, I accomplished my goals. I never stop till I do. There's me in 1981. I kicked at the light, hit my head, got a big gouge in the skull too. Simple, that's only 13 feet. I could actually jump 2 feet in the air and kick the light. I was kicking the door jam at 10, the basketball hoop when I was 14. But I like goodies. You like goodies? See, the reality of life is getting goodies. I learned to listen as a little kid because I didn't want to get beat or abused even more. Ate out of a trash can, it kind of sucks. But let's understand something. When I mowed yard seeds, sold seeds and clackers all weekend, I worked my tail off. I went home, I was 8.5 years old, counting my $52. The devil's wife grabbed my money and said, you're paying rent. Her eyes even went red. So what did I do? See, all I know how to do is knowledge. Reading 15 books a week and understanding knowledge again and again. That's what I'm good at for me. Steve Jobs said I was the greatest lateral thinker you ever met, whatever meant for him. Steve, you didn't want to stand too close to. He didn't use deodorant or usually wore sweaters. He was a nice guy, but he's kind of direct and kind of rude too. But that's just the way he was. But understand goodies. I learned a long time ago never to put something in my name because someone always wants to take it away. That makes no sense to me. So I became a puppet master 45 years ago plus. I'd like you to write down puppet master. See, I believe most people that are rich and famous, they're not basically rich and famous. They might be famous, but again, their projects and what they do is under the puppet master program. I like real estate. Do you like real estate? See, I didn't get a house when I was a kid. I had to move 24 times. By the time I'm 11 and a half years old, it kind of sucks. So getting mansions is kind of fun, all 5 islands in Huntington Harbor. We got to play. Winning the Game of Business was my first series that I wanted to show the world how to do things. The difference is I got my first million through the corporate structure. I was 14 and a half years old, by the way. Driving a Lamborghini, going to West Coast College, part-time and doing that, and working at the same time. Okay, winning the game of business. I'm building a mansion in Nellie Gale, California at the time. When I created this, the black set and the cassette and the books and CDs, I put cash flow free up your time. I also put financial freedom. So the reality is certain things, I own the rights to all of these things for the last 40 plus years. Now, if you don't know this, in 1976, I was 16 years old. I didn't go to high school, that would be a waste of my time. I don't know what you did at 16, but that's up to you. All I know is it's a game to win the game of business, what I want you to play my way. The next thing I wanted to create is books for dummies, because when I do something new, I feel stupid. I have to master it. That's just me. For me, I got to put the pressure on myself. I'm one of the few, not one of the many. But Books for Dummies was taken. So I created the Millionaire's Founders Kit out there 40 years ago, infomercials, all kinds of crazy stuff. By the way, I also named it Winning the Game of Business. Again, what do we do? The Millionaire's Founders Kit, the Blueprint of Success. See, I got lucky in the first grade. I lived in this house in Delane Street. Her name was Joanne. She wired Apollo 9, 11, and 13. She was NASA engineer, okay? Everything to her was a blueprint. So I heard the word blueprint. If you build anything, you need a blueprint. Well, that's what she said, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's why I called it the Blueprint for Success. I own the rights to that as well. So again, what do you want today? Take a picture. If you want a copy of that, you can get a copy of it today. I sold it for $5,000 at the Bonaventure for 32 years, by the way, every Wednesday night, Saturday in Long Beach, Tuesdays in Orange County, and Ontario on Thursdays. So that was $5,000 back then. Today it's only a couple $100, but it'll give you the blueprint of success, and it'll give you 12 months to master the 1,000 steps, rules, and tools to get to the $1 million dream, by the way. Next, I'd like to help the kids today. In other words, I would like to create basically this book here and to help you every step of the way. What is our goal? Simple. I'd like to start the credit file for the kids. I would like to get them their first credit card. I don't want them screwing up like you did. We all screwed up, didn't we? Guessing doesn't make any sense. Now, social media confuses me because I see 6 people recently saying you need a Capital One secure card. The answer is no. You see, if you start a credit file, you get a Capital One secured, that actually gives you a negative, drops your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. So the ultimate goal is we don't want that. If you allow me to start their file for them, I'll give them the first card. If not, at least go to OpenSky.com. OpenSky, there's no inquiry. All right, unfortunately, you put $200 in, it's good, spend $25. So what happens is, unfortunately, in social media, you have all these people with their baseball caps backwards, looking silly. They know it all. Actually, you got a bunch of amateurs that don't diddly squat in most cases, in my opinion. But again, it's going to be up to you if you want to learn to play the game to win. So start their credit file. Get them their first credit card. By the way, that's a free download for anybody in high school and college. Free. Free. What happens next is you can always call the office and they'll give you a link as well. From there, the NACB certified me. This is the National Institute of Credit Bureaus of America, the #1 consultant worldwide for the last almost 50 years. I created a 29% rule. See, if every credit card is at 25 to 29%, your score never drops. You owe this card there as well. If it's 30%, it's yellow, 50 is red. See, all your dashboards out there tell you flat out, you have to go below 30, but they don't give you rules and tools. If you could balance your debt, your score would go up and away if you wanted to. But what do we do now? Let's understand. Write it down, all cards fluctuate but two. All cards. So if we have a problem and lose our job or something today, we have to make sure we don't max out the wrong card. What do we do next? We realize one thing, gold and platinums, American Express, POT time up to 100,000 do not fluctuate. That's the emergency card. That's the card you should jack up and never hurt your score so you can stay 715 more, but it's up to you. Now, being dropped off by Mrs. Hope at the Redondo Beach Pier. See, I had to learn to listen. I didn't understand. I'm 3.5 years old. She drops off the pier, rolled down the window, and she said, if you're not here at 5 o'clock, I'll leave you there to die. She was the wife of the devil, by the way. I ran over to the pier to stay warm, ate out of a trash can because I was hungry. Redondo Beach Pier, you can see Marina Del Rey, Torrance, Rocks, Palace Ridge, and Rat Beach. What happened is I got caught stealing off the pier. As he grabs my hand, I thought he was going to throw me off the pier. Scared the you-know-what out of me. I'm 3.5 years old. Almost peed my pants. All right, all he could say is, boy, take out the trash or I'll call the police. I became boy on that pier till I was 9.5 years old. Clean the chum bucket. Go to my mansion on the weekend and shovel horse and you know what. But I learned one thing. How'd they get their money? See, you haven't been curious enough, and that's why you stay stuck. You sit there going, it's about it. If you would have got curious how things work like I do and tear it apart, you could actually got past go. So I grabbed their magazines. How did the Hiltons, the Kennedys, the Firestones, the Gettys keep their goodies? And now you got social media going there, the Firestones, and then stop. That's not the truth of what they actually did if they did their research. These half blankety blank little videos aren't correct, most of them. But again, that's just my opinion. Again, what's the goal? Focus. Chapter 18. I listened because I'm in the corner listening to a poker game at Mrs. Hope's house on a Wednesday night. And you got all these rich and famous people talking about corporations being a legal person. It's right there, chapter 18. I'm 7.5 years old, don't understand it, but it made sense to me. I taught myself how to read at 2.5 years old anyway, memorized everything. Rode my bicycle down to the Torrance Police Department. Library next door, man, what does this mean? She was rude. She walked away and then 5 minutes later, here's a mock of his, here's a bug. Ranks at the bug. That's how she said it. I was looking for a blueprint. I couldn't find one. I went to the library almost every day till I was 9.5 years old. 9.5. What did I do? I finally realized I could send away $10. $10 I sent away to get a corporation. Cost $10. That same corp today is $30. See, most of you who have a corporation today, you spend thousands of dollars with the attorney who's practicing law hasn't got it right yet. You got a CPA incorporating service. I believe you learn diddly squat. I'll teach you more today than you ever learned in your life if you listen very carefully. It says may sue or be sued. Your corporation is on Secretary of State's website. When they sue it, they sue you. You're the duck and the sheep. That's just how it works. You're the only voice it has. Now I'm going to circle the bottom here. It says not required to file fictitious business name. I felt that was wrong when I was 9.5. This is Business Professional Code 17983. To me, it was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong, but it felt wrong to me. So understand something, and we're going to visit that again. What happens right now, we have a problem. You see, what's happening today is you just started your fourth quarter. If you don't incorporate now, and that means now, today, you don't have time to get it filed. So next year you can't say it was done last year. You're going to blow it, and this happens all the time. Your divisions have to be filed as well. You see, if we want to go get credit to you, corporate divisions, no problem. But then one line of credit, we have to basically have it set up the year before. Again, there's certain types of what I call checkbook money. So let's understand today, countdown. Today, you have to figure out something. How many divisions should I have? Should be 18. Should I have profit and nonprofit or both? I should have both. You see, you got choices, and they're going to be up to you as well. But they need to be filed in 2025 because in 2026, it'll be too late. You have to wait till the following year. I don't control time, neither do you. So what do? Understand. We have less than 60 days left of this year. I need a name of a corporation. I need names of divisions. I need it to be processed right away and filed. The day the corporation or division is filed is its birth date, like we have. But again, what do? My first corporation was Helping Hand Industries. It cost me $10. I got $100,000 of credit in the mail back then without applying for credit. All right, I have built $60 billion of credit for clients and myself over the years. Here's about $40 million right here, but we get to play the game. You see, debt offsets taxes. How are you going to start a business when you don't have any money? Or are you going to steal from your friends and family and bring the pain home like you've done most of your life? That's $10 last time. When I did it 9.5, it's 30 today. I got named in the movie Dave as well, but again, it's up to you. I started the Orange County Blind Center. See, this is where I screwed up. I believe anybody can go to school and do the time and get the paper, because I did that too. But I learned life by doing life and researching it as well, putting things together. I used the word Braille when I started the Orange County Blind Center. The Braille Institution sued me. I was 12.5 years old. Scared the crap out of me. Again, what do? The goal is never to bring the pain home. A nonprofit organization, like I said, it is IRS.gov. Corporations filed at state, and it's a 1023 to get a 501c3 exemption. You're going to want that done right away. Now, you have attorneys charging $15,000. You have other organizations charging $6,000 to $7,000. But again, I do workshops all the time. I can help you and guide you if you want, nonprofit. So what do? The goal is to be winning the game of business. Profit and nonprofit work in conjunction like the Goodwill does. But again, it's going to be your choice. You have credit cards under nonprofit you have no liability to. You have basically grant money. Let's understand something. On November 15th of this year, I have a nonprofit specialty class at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. After that, we're going to extend that class that day. We're going to go after state and federal grant money. That's right. You see, if you're slow or you're just lazy, I'd say do a nonprofit. You get some money, hire employees to work for you. But hopefully you're not lazy and you follow through as well. But again, that's what I'd say. This is a lazy way to get to $100 million under nonprofit. But again, they should work in conjunction, but it's up to you. You have Google willing to give you $10,000 a month grant money, by the way, if you don't know that. From there, we have to look at profit and nonprofit, or not-for-profit. If I get a corporation, call it nonprofit in the state, all right, that's fine. It's not for profit. But if I get the federal exemption, it's now classified public benefit as a nonprofit. When I go through the applications on basically November 15th of grant money, I'm going to show you tag this one or tag this one, give you the way to actually fill out the form together. What happens, most people screw this all up. Now, I think you should focus on hospice, house, elderly care, transportation, and food delivery. My clients that I do blueprint loans or blueprint calls all the time for, I always try to find out what their spouse does. 85% of our clients are men, the rest are women, no problem. All right, what does your wife do? This is I'm being nosy. Why? Because she's a nurturer. He's fixing up a house. I'm going to say, let's get a Section 8. Let's get some grant money. Let's turn it into a hospice house. You see, she's a nurturer. She wants to retire or something. That's fine. See, the elderly care, home for elderly, that's a $100,000 grant per month. A hospice house, same thing. Transportation, someone's got to take them to the hospital. Free vans and all that as well, offset the taxes, and even food delivery. So there are so many things you could do under the nonprofit rules if you just know the rules and tools for that as well. They did a study a couple of years ago and found out a nonprofit does 4 times than a McDonald's does. Nonprofit means you cannot, you're not going to classify it as profit, but it's going to have a good income for you and help create jobs for the world today. But again, it's going to help you again. What do? Let's understand. In California, all right, the federal government, state and federal, they have different things in grant money. Grant money is what we're looking at. For instance, today, earlier, in the California, it said, would you like $2 million because you want to take people on a boat? Okay, let's do that. You want some houses, you want to do this and that. So when I go through that list with you, after you get the nonprofit corp, the tax ID, the bank account, and you get the exemption, I want to tag into some grant money. But it's up to you. You need the nonprofit set up now to be able to position it so next year they give you some money. If you don't do it, then you kind of blew it. Because our current president wants to allocate $10 billion to take care of the homeless people. The way to play. Nonprofit corporation must be filed now, 2025, to be able to get the corporation, get the exemption, so next year we get grant money. Again, if you don't do this, I'm going to say you blew it, but it's up to you. We got to qualify for the grant money. Nonprofit, a class is every 11 weeks. Like I said, IRS.gov, 1023, public benefit. We take a corporation, file it at the state, and we get a federal exemption, the ultimate goal. So every 11 weeks there's a class. The next one is November 15th. What do? I want to make sure you understand today, a nonprofit corporation, okay, literally right now sold at other companies for about $1,500 to $2,000 up to $10,000. Then the exemption's up to $15,000. It's a little ridiculous. I don't think they should be charging all that, but that's just my opinion as well. We get to play the game to win. To me, I always want to win the game of business. Now, articles of corporation, they're free in all 50 states. I'll give you the link to do that too. You pay your filing fee. Officers list, I'll help guide you as well. If you don't have a real address, I'll let you use my address here, all right, based on that as well. But it's going to be up to you how we connect the dots. Tax ID, we need it because we need to open the bank account. The nonprofit has to put money in the grants, right, from where we're going to deposit the money. They're going to ask that question. The nonprofit workshop coming up on November 15th is very simple. What happens is a nonprofit corporation with all these goodies usually is about $4,000. Okay, then we turn around and give you about $25,000 of credit as well. So here's an opportunity, and it's for you now, not next week. It's now to get it filed right away. So that nonprofit setup, or profit if you want profit, or both at the same time, you let us know. To me, to motivate you today, I'm going to do it for a giveaway of $9.99. It's a giveaway. But again, it's going to be up to you. All right, but I'm going to tell you, you got to do it now. If you kind of blow it, you can call the specialist after that. They can't alter that price. You see, I haven't had a paycheck in 40 years. I don't seem to need one. So for $999, you're going to get to the workshop, nonprofit corporation, tax ID, guide you to open the bank account, show you how to get the nonprofit exemption step by step, or profit company. That's going to be up to you. What happens today is I think you're confused. You're trying to figure out who's telling the truth, what piece do I have, and will they help me every step of the way? Me, I'm online 6 days a week, to classes all the time, all day Saturdays, all classes, even Fridays. The lie to me is when they say a corporation protects you. I believe it does not. But again, what I explained to Mr. Ken Yarborough when he was security chief at TRW Experian, what I wanted to do. His thing was divisions and corporations take too long. That's not true. I can bill credit to you, corporate divisions, right away. Line of credit, they want 2 years. But here's our problem. You're pretending or thinking that a corporation protects you and does not. When you sign for the car, the lease of the building, or the credit card, when that corporation is sued, they sue you. You're the voice. If you file bankruptcy under the Federal Protection Act, they still get you. That means you and the corporation go down the rabbit hole at the same time. What you should have thought about a long time ago is a division of me. A division of me, I have the ability to do what the corporations and the banks do in the cities and grocery stores. In other words, Bank of America closing 16,000 locations, all your banks, they have branches. The branches are corporations owned by corporations. They have their line of defense. They're bankrupting pieces under the Federal Protection Act, keeping the assets and write off their taxes. What essence, what they're really doing is tax balancing. The IRS is here, and over here, their corporation's here. It's tax balancing. I wrote a book on tax balancing as well. I would tell you to turn around and have 9 divisions. So I hope you write what I write here, please, 9 divisions. What you got to realize is a corporation should be a neutral name. It should not be named after you and what it does. If you name it after you and what it does, and it actually does business, I call that silly and dumb, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a corporate umbrella. You see, the corporation should be a neutral name. What you got to focus on is what if something goes wrong? What if, what if, what if? If we create a line of defense, and you say you're an expert today in real estate as an example, or that means you have all your properties in an LLC. That means when they sue the LLC, they sue you. If we have the properties in division process, we're going to basically separate liability, what I designed in 1985-86. This gives us the ability to play the game to win. I don't know if that's what your goal would be. Now, that means very simple. Let's understand something today. If I had 9 locations, that means I need 9 divisions. Okay, that's just the way it works. If I have 9 lines of credit, I need 9 divisions. So that means understand line of credit. Chase Bank's holding the mortgage on 9 houses. That's a line of credit. 9 tenants, that's liability. So we have to understand it takes 18 divisions to build $1 million of credit. 18. It's simple. Numbers don't lie, people lie. If we have a problem like the bank does and gets rid of pieces, we can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. We can also have the nonprofit offset the tax because we can do tax balancing. That's the goal that I wrote in that book called Tax Balancing, by the way. You see, I was blessed. God gave me a brain that almost memorizes everything. And he gets the credit for all. I'm just trying to facilitate the information. And I will take on any CPA and attorney and someone who knows everything they think they know. I'd like to put them on open stage and open forum because I don't like stupid. I had a nice lady the other day and her husband. I said, I need you to do a prenup, postnup. And they go, what? Understand. I said, you have a problem. It's a marriage agreement. I do not want you to hurt each other. My prenup and postnup says a cheat clause. All right, if I cheat, she gets all that in millions and billions. If she cheats, I get it all. Simple. See, we have a problem in most states. It's called cumulative property, cumulative debt. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to me a couple years ago. And when he got sued, they sued her. They've now lost their house. They've lost everything they have. And they're in their 60s. Could you imagine being in your 60s or 70s and you got nothing? Your life and everything you built is gone because of stupidity. One stupid agreement, he could have bankrupted and kept all the goodies, irrevocable trust. So I want you to understand when we play this game of business, our goal is to play to win, winning the game of business. Your corporation has 4 things it can do, in my opinion. Do what you want. I don't have a magic wand. Mine's broken. I don't need BS to give you besides the truth. But it's up to you to follow through. Corporation buffers tax. No tax due till you're profitable. Corporate credit's a write-off. That means if I want to get these 2 cards and basically 99 more of these, I have $100 million of credit now. Again, that's a little ridiculous, but okay, we can obtain that. To buy the car at fleet price. Okay, the hotel gives us a free buffet. I believe your corporation should never do business. It should manage entities. An entity is a division, the way I designed 8586. It is the line of defense. It is cheap. It has multiple functions. I believe if you would have bankrupted a division, you wouldn't have bad credit today. And most of you just do the up and down show anyway. So multiple credit reports, separate liability. I want you to be serious with yourself today. You're getting older, slower. You're not as pretty as you used to be. We all go through this process. If you don't learn to protect your assets, you're going to be broke when you die. And on the way there as well. And that sucks. This is the American dream, all right, to accomplish the goals for you. But what did you do? You don't have a line of defense. Every time there's a problem, you bring the pain home. You got to knock it off. The division process will save anybody's life my way, which I created in 1985-86. Do you want to be a millionaire? You'll probably say yes. The answer is no. I want you to have a corporation that's worth $1 million. This is 9 locations and 9 lines of credit. This is 9 houses and 9 lines of credit. The bank has to give you a loan per house. There's $100,000 a month, by the way, if you don't understand that, and $1 million of credit. We get to play the game. There's me. At one time, I had $2.2 billion in real estate, 21 cars in the car collection. I always made sure that every suit I wore, I matched the car and the watch. That's what I did here. So if I have a green suit, I got to wear the green Rolex and match the suit and the car. I drive the green car that day. So that's just how I plan everything just for me. But again, you got to do what you do for you. That represents 1,013 divisions. One of my professors a long time ago says, Ray, you're paranoid. I said, hell yes. I'm afraid someone's going to steal my goodies. But that's just the way it works. 1,013 divisions. I would like you to get out your cell phone, and I'd like you to understand what you did. You kind of blew it. You drove by the Wendy's restaurant the other day on the right-hand side, and you should say, why don't I own it, or a piece of it? You drove by that, and across the street was a Jack in the Box. What happened to that? You see, it's nice watching my clients out there say, do this, do that, but the reality is very simple. I don't want you to be rich. I want you to be a puppet master, because that's how you stay out of trouble, by the way. So if we had 9 cards, 100,000 paid over time, that's $1 million, right? If we own the car wash, the laundromat, the dry cleaner, all right, the storage unit, the apartment complex, the fourplex, all the books that I wrote over the last 45 years, what do you have? You have auto income. Your goal is to get up to $5,000 a month in the beginning, because then you have to pay that $2,000 loan back. You get about $3,200. Then we get up to the 10. We can do it again and again if you want to. When you do a single family house, to me it's not worth it, because it's $500 or $600 to $1,000 if you're lucky. Fourplex instead, but that's just my opinion. There's ways to play the game to win. Did you take your picture yet? See, there's your future. That should have been your past as well. I think you took the long way around to do this, and you did a blankety-blank bad job, unfortunately. I tell you today, look in the mirror and fire yourself and hire me. Your way, sorry to say, I think it sucks. I'm right, you're wrong. I've been saying that since I was a little kid, because I studied and studied and studied, had the answer to the question. I'm one of the few, not one of the many. I want you to do that too. In other words, don't run your own race. Now, years ago in that building I owned in Nevada, because I was the largest registered agent in the world, I sold 10 times Nevada Corp. Anybody in this planet to this day, by the way. But again, I don't do the shared office space because they change rules and tools. I lease people 12 feet. That way you can say it's your own office, 12 feet. It's not shared office space. Isn't that fun? But again, you can scan it, take a picture, and sign up for shared office space today if you need it to. It's up to you. I want you to focus today. You're 35 to 75 years old. How are you going to get the American dream? Most of you have been jacking up your credit, dropping your score, getting stuck, can't get any more. I'd like to get you the American Express personal and business cards. I'd like you to focus. They offer 99 more cards, which is crazy in my opinion. That could be up to $100 million of credit. I want you to think about manageable debt, all right, financing the American dream, $100,000 of personal, $71,000 of safety, $1 million of corporate credit, and basically leveraging money. See, you got to learn all kinds of things. There's 1,000 steps, rules, and tools, but it's up to you to pay attention. If we took the corporate credit, and we buy the lifetime income, that would be that fourplex, the apartment complex, the Wendy's, the Jack in the Box, maybe a Taco Bell. Again, let's have you own a piece of something, because that's auto income. You own an asset. You had your asset forever. See, the goal is you didn't invest that way. You basically did what you did. You wasted $50,000 to $100,000 in your life, went blah, blah, blah. I think you did it wrong. Linda started with me in 1986. My program was called Eagle's Nest. Went worldwide, by the way. Linda, basically, she administrates an outreach program for hundreds of millions of dollars all the time. She spent $1,900 with me, $19.99, $2,000. That cost her $26 a month, by the way. She used a card. What did Linda do now? Well, her next program and project was simple. She took the Hyatt Hotel in Texas and she turned it into the Blueprint Apartments. See, if Linda can do this, so can you, but it's going to be up to you. I would tell you to take a picture. She'd tell you I made her a millionaire 5 times plus. But again, it's up to you. The current project should be about $27 million, by the way. So every one of you could play the game to win. If I buy an apartment complex, and we're going to do it together, you're going to take part of the credit I build you line of credit. You're going to put money in an escrow. You're going to own a piece. This is not an investment. This is an ownership. You're going to get a certificate of ownership to your division and corporation. When I take in the units, if you want, I'm going to do it to all of them. I'm going to split deed them. I'm going to use that form I created in 1988 called assignment of mortgage. We're going to get $36,200 to $126,000 a month. Can we split that by 9 or 10 people now? The ultimate goal is very simple. If you need 100,000 of credit today, or 50 or 25, pay attention, because today I'm doing an extra discount to all of that. 25,000 is usually $2,500. If it was done by calling the office now or Zelle now, you get it for $9.99. Very simple. If you Zelle, you save 10% on the Zelle. If you needed $50,000 of credit today, instead of $5,000, it's $3,000. Once you Zelle, you save 10% on that as well. If you need that $100,000 credit for you or the corporation, instead of $10,000 or $8,000, it is discounted to you literally for $4,999. If you Zelle, you save 10%. If you don't, you call the office right away. So you need that to actually get the American dream. We're going to use debt to offset the taxes. So take your picture right here. This is going to be a Zelle information for you. I'm going to say Zelle, Zelle, now all the time. You have the ability to call the office right away too, because they'll honor what I ask and what I said here during the broadcast only. 800-254-9506. Use a card. They will charge you 5% because the bank charges us 5%. So what do? Take a picture. Maybe you want to visit my library at Amazon. Okay, the free downloads and all the other pieces as well. All right, I've written over 65 books over these years, by the way, and about a bunch of goodies. If you need a phone call with me, there are two types. A 15-minute call or a 1-hour call with you and your partner of life called a blueprint. Now, the call is usually $500. If you need it right away today on broadcast here, it's $399 if you did it right away. If not, then you just call the office later today and pay the normal standard $500 fee. My problem I had in 1988 and 89 is a serious problem. I got $53 million of credit. They're shrinking my limits. It's scaring the you-know-what out of me. What do? I wrote a book called Buckets of Money. Every time there's a problem, it came with a solution. I took $4.6 million, dissected it in buckets, and I loaned it out, $10,000 a piece. I did that, and what did I do? $4.6 million. I turned it $190,000 a month. The notes behind that, because there's a note behind it, were actually $1.1 billion, by the way. So instead of shrinking my limits, I raised them up and away. That was the ultimate goal. That's in 1989, by the way, if you want to play. Again, today for Wendy's storage unit, fourplex or apartment complex, take a picture. An apartment complex is going to need 125 divisions because I plan on turning to become the bank. Now, you're going to need Dun & Bradstreet for your corporation. So take a picture, please. Let's get your Dun & Bradstreet set up right away as well. That is supply and vendor credit. Now, a division. In 1987, I created a dashboard as I'm training Yarborough. TRW became a Spirit and all the goodies in 96. The dashboard allowed me to put a social security number or tax ID or history. If I put 2000 history on a dashboard, you give me a name of a person, corporate entity. What does it allow me to do? It allows me to build a credit file, Spirit, Treasury, and Equifax. I don't need tax ID till I ask the daisy chain the credit. One card can become 199 more cards, if not more. Can actually become 1,000. It's ridiculous, but again, that's what you get to do. If you need a division, it's $1,000 each with tax ID and all the pieces and the history, no problem. Never trade lines, so I don't believe in that. So here you take your picture of 3, 9, and 12. With or without credit, there you go. If you did the division process today while I'm online, I'm going to double the numbers for you, no extra cost. 3 is now 6, 9 is 18, and 12 is 24. Up to you. That is the Zelle process, or you call the office at 800-254-9506, and that's a Zelle now, by the way. Now, it's nice watching some of my clients out there, but I still have that problem when they say the word credit repair. If you Google today, the Federal Trade Commission says they can't collect money up front, and they do it all the time. They indicted Daniel in the credit repair cloud. He was the largest one for the database. What happens is simple. Credit repair is a fraud. Credit rebuilding is not. But again, you have to understand the difference between the two. Some clients are out there going, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. The reality is, I'm sorry, I don't believe you're rich. You might be a puppet master of a rich corporation, but the IRS is listening. We've watched several of those go to prison and indicted a couple times too. Please be careful. Run a corporation, be a puppet master. We have a choice today. We lose our job today, what happens? It's oh blankety blank day, or next week I don't have a job to replace it. 8 months later, what happened to my credit? It's crap. It all drops. See, if we use the right card during that process, they don't fluctuate. You could actually struggle through the process and never drop your score. You can always get some more. The analyzation's the key. If I analyze you, I can tell you exactly what needs to be done so you get 150 points in 90 days. We do this all the time, by the way, for people. I do the class on Friday live of analyzations, over 200 points. What you have to realize is on the graph here going up and down, you control that. It's on all your dashboards, Experian.com, Analytical, all right, 750.com, and even Credit Karma. So again, what do? 9 divisions for 9 lines of credit, 9 locations of a house, that means it's 18. If we plan the problem and we play the game to win, that means we're going to get $100,000 of credit here. Then we're going to multiply it by each entity. Each entity is entitled to its own credit file, which means we can get $100,000 to $1 million to finance the American dream versus hurting the family, by the way. My first storage unit I bought when I was basically working with my ex-father-in-law. My part of that was $17,350 a month. Corporation absorbs some money, all right, pays tax on profit. There's no profit, we're growing the business. Again, up, away, debt offsets taxes. Again, you can learn how to get a paycheck and offset it by your house payment anyway. So what happens is this. I believe you sit at the kitchen table with your friends and family. I believe you say, honey, we're going to start a business. You jacked up the credit cards, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. You hawked your house, you brought the pain home to you and your spouse, and I call that silly and dumb anyway. There's no reason to bring the pain home in the first place. You should have had 3 divisions of me. What would that allow you to do? If this one got screwed up, you got 2 more to go. Go set up another one, but it's up to you. As long as you have no intent to do fraud, you'll be okay. But again, the goal is to never bring the pain home. He says he lost his job. Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. That means he has a house or a condo, or lives with mommy and daddy. Go drive Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash. Go to the church for the food for the kids. But he's wearing his jammies and he's holding that sign up, and everybody's giving him money all day long. He's lazy. Show up here, I'll put him to work. By the way, he makes $210 a day by holding up the sign, doing nothing. Certain people need help. He does not need help. He needs to get a damn job, in my opinion. What do? Well, 2009, July 4th, we took out one of my yachts in the backyard. 72 people. My wife wanted to take them to have fun, watch the fireworks. We did that too. What happened the next day? There I am in a coma. 541. Kind of sucks when you lose your life, had to come back right from the dead and come back again and again, and everything's gone. See, I was born on the 8th. Every motorcycle, race car, race boat has the number 8 on it. See, 8 and 0 are infinity beyond. I took my 3 divisions of me, my 5 closet divisions. I built $1 million of credit within 6 weeks. I bought my wife her next dream house. You see, you stay down because of your lack of knowledge. There's no reason to do that. There's always a way to rebuild you, kind of like Humpty Dumpty. But again, you have to follow through what I get to tell you to do. I'm going to tell you to plan the problem. See, sometimes I think if we're living in hell, we die, we're in a better place. But again, this is not easy to do. No magic wand. Federal Trade says credit repair is a fraud. It's right there. Can't collect money up front. You have the Credit Repair Organization Act as well. Maybe you want to help yourself and get a copy of the book that I wrote years ago that they're all using anyway. Letters to Creditors and Credit Bureaus. So this is called Winning the Credit Game. It's a free download as well. Take a picture, download it for everybody. Again, the goal is to change the world and help everybody every day. Now, on the social media, I keep watching, debt consolidation or this and that, and what you get to do in your debt. There's 5 ways to kill a debt. Credit bureaus used to have consumer credit counseling on their dashboards. Years ago, that was one of my companies. I'd like you to get a copy of Debt Crisis Intervention. I'd like you also get what's called the Debt Collections Practices Act, so you know step by step the rules and tools. So take that picture, screenshot it, so you're not guessing anymore as well. 750. Analytical 750 is the only dashboard to play with today. Why? Because Credit Karma does not have Experian, and I need that for Chase. Banks want Experian.com. Credit Karma has no phone number to help you. They were indicted 6 times anyway, And the reality is they don't have experience, so again, I think they're fired. Take a picture right now, so you sign up for this. It's $25 a month, by the way. See, you're part of that dark web and you got that LifeLock thing. Don't worry, they went and died at 6 times too. Last indictment was $100 million, by the way. Here is a dashboard going to help you, call you every 46 days, analyze you the first time for free. They're going to help Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax business reports. One source, one place, you get to do this and help you, the ultimate goal. So take a picture, scan it, sign up today for analytical750.com. Now, the goal for me is to repackage you like Humpty Dumpty. I think you're highly intelligent, you have all the pieces, but I think some pieces you might be missing. Let's connect the dots. Today, you could have invited 10 people to watch this with you or send them an email or a text. If you would have did that, you could have become an affiliate. That means you can make up to 10% up to $1,000 today just by referring people to us, and you get to learn to play the game to win. Take a picture, scan it, sign them up right away. Simple. What happens is my class is in rotation. Remember, I want you to focus that every Saturday I have a specialty class at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as well, in rotation. Me, as a little kid, people ask how I'm doing. My response then, even now, is always good. And I say to myself, thank you, Jesus. See, I set my mindset. I don't let somebody steal my peace. It's always good. If you like me, take a picture, do a Google review. If you don't like me, please leave me alone. That's how it works. Not everybody likes me, nobody likes you. How it works today. The Puppet Master. If you allow me to hold your hand, get to the classes 6 days a week, up to as many as you can. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to line you up to do boring and steady. Boring and steady. Remember, I asked you to take a picture earlier today. That should have been your focus a long time ago. That's what my focus has been for over 49 years, by the way. So what do? Let me build you the credit to finance your dream, if you would, please, and write off on your taxes. There's something called a blueprint call. Past, present, and future. Good, bad, ugly. Do you have a tax lien or a bankruptcy? Did you mess up Chase and American Express because they don't like to forgive you? I needed a division around you to get around that too. Do you have a family? You have a corporation. Division should be 18. Irrevocable trust. Car should be division. Next thing is your house should be through the trust. When I wrote down cash flow for your time a long time ago, in 1976, by the way, the blueprint calls about $2,000 with me and your partner on the phone, up to 1 hour. If you did it today, it's $9.99. It's a Zelle, you save 10%. Or eventually, what do? You get it for free because you partner with me. But it's up to you again as you process this information. Now, getting that form in 1984 scared me. It said I have to pay $800 to $1,000 per corporation. In 1984, what did it say? What for? Franchise tax fee in California. I own Shakey's, 31 flavors, Subways, sandwiches, shopping centers, condos, all these goodies. That might cost me up to $1.2 million. No. What do? I go to Sacramento and ask, can I create a form or modify? How do I do this? How do I make sure the division doesn't pay a franchise tax fee? Because every corporate in California would. Well, create a form or modify, and we'll see if we approve it. It was approved in 1985, 86 as a division process. You will find that you will have a 4A division. One of my corporations will be 4, and then we'll have a B and a C. See, you're going to invest the credit I build you into an escrow. I never touch that money ever. I don't want to be a Ponzi like I watch some of these people out there being Ponzi schemes all the time. This means you get a certificate of ownership. This is how you get your $5,000 to $10,000 a month, up and away. You own a piece, you tie it to irrevocable trust, because eventually we're going to die. We want to leave it to the next generation so they don't have to be stuck in a probate. But I've done this since 1987, by the way. So if you did a coaching program with me personally, this means I'm going to coach you every 3 weeks on the phone. I'd like to get you $200,000 of credit if you allow me to. It's usually $20,000 for that credit. The blueprint call and then coaching on top of that. Today it is $27,000 for all those goodies if you want it today. Now if we position this right, you don't need the credit, then I'm going to say it's 20 grand today. There you go. And that's with the credit. The difference is without the credit, it's 10 grand. My goal is to help everybody I can. So the goal is let's get you in an escrow. But again, I have one position available. That's about it. I can only coach 40 at a time and talk to 3 people on the phone and broadcast every day. That's what I do. So if you want to be that last one at 10 grand and get stuck with me up and away, it's going to be up to you. If you don't do it, you kind of blew it. If you don't have the bank accounts that show 30 transactions, hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, I do. As we partner up, we'll provide those to the creditors too. We'll have an agreement in writing for each other too. So the goal is like the Ray Reynolds University, all right, doing what? Learning how to play the game to win. So if you want a custom package for your current business, the specialist can customize 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever you need. I'll help you turn your corporation into millions and billions. I do that all the time too. But again, what do we do? Today, I'd like you to think about Stellar Bank, Chase, and the American Express Platinum Card. It's got a POT of 100, by the way. And people got 200,000 or 300,000 more, okay? That would be the money you line up to an escrow, by the way. But it's going to be up to you. You're allowed to become the bank, by the way, and turn it into installment loans. So you actually get to play the game to win. I like that. Only if you have 100,000 in and out of your bank account all the time. If you do, you're fine. I'll coach you how to do that. If not, I have it in mind. If I do this for you, I'm going to charge you $5,000 to use my divisions and corporations bank account with you as I build it up and away. At the back end, I'm going to get you to say $250,000. You're not going to pay your 10% until we put you through an escrow, because I'm not going to back you up having a debt you can't afford to pay. So you might pay that $5,000 to get it set up right away. And that's what we do, to use the bank accounts and partner up and away, and we get to play the game. If it was done today, the blueprint loan is $2,000. But that is a Zelle, or call the office right away. If you wanted to fast track it, you can talk to my vice president of the company, 951-289-4791, that's Santos, or talk to one of the specialists. The fast track is when I build a credit onto one of my corps with you as a CFO. We exercise the cards and we go get another $100,000 to $500,000 of credit. If we did both, that'd be up to $500,000. So again, some people want to do both or just one of the two. What do we do in the fast track? It's normally $5,000. Today, just $3,000. If it's a Zelle, all right, the reality is you get to save that 5%. But if it's a Zelle now, and you want to use a card, you call 800-254-9506. Use a card, it is 5% more. The ultimate goal is to look beyond the curtain every time. You need profit, nonprofit divisions set up now. Why? Because they get the A's as of next year for this year. So keep in mind, what I want to do is hold your hand every step of the way. Stay safe, stay strong, do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. Our goal is simple. I would highly recommend every one of you today is a Zelle now, or call that office right away, 800-254-9506. I can only help you if you basically quit being a procrastinator, which is the killer of a dream. I'm online 6 days a week to hold your hand. I'd like you to join me on Fridays and Saturdays in my classes too, but it's going to be up to you to follow through. So we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget, at the end of the day, it's simple. God loves us all.